Hello everyone, this is Paula and I am back today for our tag series. I believe it's part 3. Now, we've done something similar to this before, but not on tags. So I'm trying to get things made that I can use also down the road. So this is today's video for the tag series. Okay. So everything's just kind of thrown out here. The first thing we have to do is get 2 pages. Skim them, make sure the language is okay. You know, I know usually the bad words pop up and I can see them, but you know, I know people can overlook them, but just be on the safe side. Be sure you skim through them. All right, now, especially if you're putting them in a journal. Okay, so what we need to do is cut this. This is double pages glued together with a glue stick. Okay, so I know I want my tag to be 3 by 6. So, and I usually try to just go right in the middle. I'm gonna move some of this over now. I just try to go right in the middle. This way you guys can see, hopefully. I've got so much stuff on my desk, you guys. I've been cleaning out today. I've been so proud of myself. Getting some things done. So we're doing 3 by 6. I'm just making them all the same size. I'm going to cut down here and get this. My blade needs to be changed. So I'll show you a way whenever your blade needs to be changed and you've got that old frayed edge, what you do. Or at least what I do. 3 by 6 is what we need. Okay, now we're done with this, okay? This cutter or trimmer or whatever you want to call it. So if it's all shaggy, although this one's not too bad, I have a fingernail file block. I take this soft end and I just go along here to get all those little things that happens when your blade gets, just do it like that. You know, you don't want to be overly rough because with old book pages you could kill it. Okay, now we'll go back over here and I usually just kind of rub it off a little bit, get the dust off of it. Okay, now we're going to take our distressed ink and vintage photo and do what we always do. Oop, we're going to ink it, but wait a minute before we do that. I cut this for the journaling on the back. It's already the size, so you want to cover your back before you ink and before you stitch, okay? So what I do, I make sure that they both match up. If they don't, I just trim them a little bit where they are not matching up. Okay, and then I take my Fabri-Tac or whatever glue you want, but I don't want this to be wet glue because, you know, this stuff we get all thin and limpy and I just don't want it to be like that. Okay, so I just line it up at the bottom usually, make sure it's right there. It should be right everywhere else. And then you just line it up really well, all 4 sides. Just make sure it's nice and smooth, and then you can rub on it and kind of make sure it's sealing down okay. All right, so let me put this glue over here out of my way for a minute. Now we're going to ink. So I ink before I do the sewing machine. I never put ink around the outside where I'm stitching, or I try really hard not to. Listen, my Laura Ashley sewing machine, that was a Brother sewing machine, broke down again. So I had to buy another one. This one is something, it's a Singer Patchwork, whatever that is. I just decided to try a different brand this time. But you know, I'd had it in the shop and I'd spent a little over 100, just a little over 100. They just said it was dirty and needed to be cleaned up. Well, I'd only had it for 2 years, okay, and hardly used it at all. So I'm going to set the ink aside. Long story short, they took it in. I tried to clean it. My husband tried to clean it. There's no way to get in it and clean it. I mean, that was, you know, we didn't know where to clean it, if the truth be told. Okay, so I've taken my zigzag size down pretty small, and I'm going to start in my lower right hand corner and get it over here. All right. Find my machine just unplugged a while ago out of the blue. It's so weird. Okay, this one does zigzag backwards though. My other one wouldn't, but I've got to make some adjustments because this one, when you get to the end, the needle doesn't go down on its own, which is real aggravating. It stays up instead of down. It's always hard to tell if you can get one more stitch. You have to stop a stitch before you're at the edge so that you can get it where you want it to go. And you know I'm funny about my stitches. I would prefer it to be perfect, but what's the chances of that, right? Oh, I should have took it up one more, or down one more. It's going to be a little close there. Just going to scoot it over a tiny bit. So it won't be perfect, but that's all right. So I hope you guys are having a good vacation that we didn't ask for. Of course, I'm on vacation all the time. Rick's on his second day of retirement, official retirement, but we didn't count the weekend. And he's out mowing the lawn. It had a lot of things that need to be mowed. He likes it to be clean. So he's trying to regrow some grass on the side of the house. He's been to the grocery store for me this morning. Listen, he's been helping me cook, loading the dishwasher. I think I'll keep him. Okay, so we've got the stitching done. My scissors, I need a new pair of scissors that is not dull. I get so aggravated with it. Do you guys feel that way? Okay, so I'm going to push that over and turn it off. Now, we're back here. I don't think you guys saw any of that, did you? I'm sorry, I just realized I moved my sewing machine over, but I didn't move you over. That's all the sewing, and I'll make sure you're in the video when I do that next time. Can't believe that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Please forgive me. Okay, so we've got these. I've scanned them all, and I don't think I see anything naughty, but if you do, you let me know. So we've done some of this stuff before, but there's some we didn't do before or have done before. Okay, so I have used some of these stamped images before, like this bunny and some of my wildflowers, but not on old book pages and a few other different things. So we glue the two book pages together, and then we glue the back page on. And by the time you do that, you've got a really sturdy tag, okay? Now, we're going to take, let's just do this other one over here. Let's do this one with the bumblebee. I know we haven't done that. Okay, just making sure it's one of those. This is almost too long, but that's all right. So we have some muslin, and you could add other things. You could add sari silk. You could add cheesecloth, doily, whatever you want to do. I'm trying not to bulk these tags up very much because they really bulk up your journal. So I decided to kind of try to go easy on it. So I've got this in the middle, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here. Just kind of fold it back and do this half first. Just kind of do some glue. Just pay attention to where you're putting it so you don't put any on the outsides of your fabric. Do you know what I mean? Okay, just to center it as much as you can. And then we're going to do this side. Have you guys noticed that they have changed the cap to the Fabri-Tac? Yes, they have. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. So this is the new cap. See that little tiny thing? That's the new cap. I'm so aggravated. So I happened, for the longest, well, probably for a couple months, I had to use this stupid little thing. I lost it a million times on the floor. And then I couldn't get my glue out one day, so I cut the tip a little bit. And when I did, it wouldn't go on. Just little suggestions. Don't cut your tip very much. And so I happened to go somewhere and they had the old tip. So what I recommend to you, if you happen to get the old tip, always just change out the lid instead of, you know, just using the bottle as it comes with the small tip. Just a little that's the tip for the day. Okay, so there we have this. And I'm not worried about perfection necessarily. So we're going to do, I think that's quite a bit of stuff there. What is missing out of here? Oh, maybe it's that. Let me see. Yes, it is. Now, I decided to do something with the bumblebee instead of just the same-o. And so I want to put this piece of greenery, because, you know, a lot of times people just put the flower, myself included. But, you know, there would be greenery mixed in, right? So I decided to do this little blue flower. And we're just going to put it as close to we can to this guy. And I think what I want to do is cross the leaf over a little bit. Kind of make it look like they're intertwined. Okay. And, I mean, you can have them further apart, closer together, whatever you want. Okay, so there. Now, this middle, I'll probably not put a gem or anything on there because I don't really like them. And I did that last time and I wasn't that thrilled. But we'll figure out something. Just give me a minute here. Here we have our bumblebee. And I'm going to put him just like he's coming down to the flower. Okay. And then we have this little piece of trim. Now, I want to get my, I forgot to get my cheesecloth out. But we're going to use cheesecloth in that spot right there. Just a little bit. I just got to dig for it. Give me just a minute. So, what have you guys been doing besides crafting to keep yourself busy? I pretty much have been crafting. Story of my life, but I love it. So I've been doing some, where did my cheesecloth go? I must be out of tea-stained cheesecloth in my basket here. Or it got put in another basket. Let me look here. Because I'm sorry the dogs are barking outside if you can hear them. There's nothing I can do about it. I'd rather they bark than him to put a strap around their neck and make them cry. And he's done that plenty of times. There's just a lot of traffic in our backyard because we have a walking trail and a pond in our backyard. And people go on that walking trail. So I'm looking here. And that's what happened. Is the cheesecloth ended up in the wrong container. But now remember, we can do other things. We can add burlap. I didn't plan this, you guys. We're doing this by ear. We're playing this We're flying by the seat of our pants here. I don't really ever plan anything. I just kind of do it anyway. I just get stuff together so that you guys don't have to wait any longer than necessary. Okay, so we've got a little bit of doily there we can use if we decide to. I'm going to set that right there. Okay, so here we go. Now we could probably put him up on a little something instead of using a cheesecloth, but let's move him down. I think he needs to come down a little bit, and then we can put our title. Wait a minute, I think instead of putting him down a little bit, we'll go ahead and keep him up, and then we could put a title at the bottom. I don't know if I like that, but it keeps him from being so flat. Down here, I just have a little piece of muslin that I'm just kind of draping across. Now, mind you, I will be getting a marker and going around that a little bit. So there, it's going to say beautiful. It's a lot of that's a lot of muslin up against each other. So this is the trim that I want to use on this tag. So let me see if this looks better than using the, it's a big word. I was going to do this as the topper for the tag. So I'm just going to do like this, because then I can still use it as the topper. Because that at least gives it a little bit of color, right? Yeah. So we're going to put that on there. And I'm not worried about it being straight or anything like that. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and glue this fabric down. Do we want it this way or that way? Yeah, I like that better. You just never know. You never know. So, do you guys have kids at home, or does these days feel like any other day to you? Just let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull the greenery off. I think I'm going to use a Fabri-Tac on the big leaves. Just going to put like a dot. And the glitter glue on stuff that's too big for Fabri-Tac. Because this is going to be glued down to that muslin. And I just want to make sure it will stay down. Come on. My husband and the guy next door, they're going to end up being real buddies. They've always talked with each other. They're just a fence over, and he's ready to retire. He hasn't yet, but he's not far from it. But he's always in his yard. All right, so that took a little longer than I wished. Okay, so I'm going to get it here, and I'm going to bring our tag back over here where you can see it. Okay, I'm going to put it as far over as I can. And you want to make sure you get some glue on this stem at the bottom too, because that's not going to get you anywhere, right? I'm going to go ahead and just use this glitter glue. It's wanting to act crazy. Now it decides just to dump a whole bunch out. Jeez. All right, let's see. So we're going to have to order. We had got rid of our old patio furniture last summer, or in the fall. Gave it to my niece, and let me fix this right here. Otherwise, we're going to have it everywhere. And we only kept one chair because we still have to take the dog out through the winter. So I need to get the rocking chair, which is what she's probably still wondering if I have forgotten. Anyway, so we found some before the virus came about. I'm trying to find my wipies, excuse me. It's like things just disappear. Oh, there they are, right in front of my face. I get glue on me and I can't do anything when that happens, right? Okay. All right, now, anyway, they went through the big flood that Fort Gibson had in Oklahoma. I don't know if you heard about it, but it was a really big flood. But anyway, I'm going to just put this like this here and just hope it grabs it without any problem. I'm sure it will. And we're just going to put it at an angle, this white burlap. Now we'll do our little fly. Okay. Oh, almost turned him the wrong way. I want him flying down like he just discovered this little flower. Yeah, there we go. Now, I want to put the word beautiful down here. I don't want it to be too low, but I want it to be, I want to completely cover everything. So I am going to put it down toward the bottom. And after that, I hope this isn't boring for you guys. I just needed to make a few. And I'm making one with a bunny. I'm sorry, the lid to that box just flew down in the big middle of everything. It's always pretty when I put beautiful on here because it's always really pretty whenever bees are swarming down around things. So I have this little butterfly tag or label, whichever one you want to call it. I mean ticket or label. I'm calling it whatever. Just I wanted to add a little bit more color. But where? That's the question. I didn't really think about this too much. I think I want it right here, but I'm going to bring it all the way over because I like that better. Now, what can we do for, where did my wipey go? Are you kidding me? Oh, well, I guess I'll grab another one. I just threw it there and it's just disappeared. I'll probably find it after the video. Probably on the floor. Yeah, it's on the floor. Anyway, so I wanted to wipe off the lid to this so if my pen will go back in there. Okay, you know how that is, right? If you don't keep it cleaned off, it doesn't really like it. Okay, so I decided we could do something different here, and I'm thinking, what could it be? So we could cut something into a little circle. How about, whoa, here is some blue doily. Now, mind you, it's not the greatest doily. That's why the ones that don't look that great, I cut up. So I'm just going to cut a little piece right here. This is the thing about making tags when you just sit down and do free kind of tags. And this is what I would consider this to be. You just come up with something. See, I like that. So it was going to be the doily. I'm just going to put a dot of glue there. Yeah. Stick that little string that's hanging out under. Oh, that didn't get it quite in the middle, did I? There we go. Okay. So this is the first one. Now on the back, we could put prompt words. I'm also going to trim this off right here so that it's, you know, doesn't grab onto things. On the back, we could do prompt words like journal or notes or whatever. I'll show you what I mean. I like to do this because, I don't know, it just gives it a little something, something. Now, I don't use any big, giant words. I just find something small that's in my stash here. Something that you would do, right? Like you would journal. So here's a little word that says journal. Now, mind you, I am going to ink that because it's way too bright. I like to use words. I don't know. I just think it feels like it finishes it off. And I don't want it to be white, so Sadie's not happy because I put her in the crate. Can you hear her? Rick was out mowing, and I've been trying all day to do this video. So he decides to go mow about the time I do the video. So Sadie got the rough side of that whole deal. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, now that is tag number 1. Now this time, and I like that. Now I do think it would be fun to kind of dash some yellow through there. Let me see if I have any yellow. Not a lot, because you don't want to go crazy, right? There's a bright yellow, and there's, oh, this is gold. This isn't bright yellow. This is gold. We'll just do a little bit. I'm just going to do the little stripes. If they will even right on here. They do have a little bit of glitter in them. So see, just a tiny bit. Just a little something, something. Okay, now we're done. Now we're done. I hope you like this video of this type of thing on the video, because it's fun. It's different. Okay, so the next tag, I just put a copy of some old 1951 ledger on there. I forgot to ink it back here because, I mean, you don't want the ledger to look like it's new. You want it to have a little bit of a calm it down. Calm it down going on. Okay. This is really different. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. And my kids would tell you I am. Tim Holtz seed pack. Tim Holtz seed pack is going to go on my tag. I'm going to bring it down just above the zigzagging. And then I'm going to glue it on. Now, don't get crazy with your glue, Paula. You don't need to glue the top, just the, yeah, glue the top. I mean, you don't have to, but I'm going to. I got to wipe that off. It's not wanting to, it's plugged up. Yep, that's what the problem was. Really plugged up. Let me throw that away. Kept trying to get it out, and it's just like nothing's happening. Okay, so I'm just going to do a tiny bit right there. You know, I'm going to try to lift it so I don't get a whole lot down on. especially these thin sides. And of course, you don't want it thick anywhere else because your tags are going to go down in here. Okay. Now, it comes with a label. So we're going to put it right above the zigzag. I made my tag just slightly too small, but that's okay. Trying to make this work. And hopefully there's still room in there for other things. I would have left this open at the top, except that it wants to be wavy for some reason. So this is the first time I've used this. I've had it forever. Don't ask me what's taken me so long, because I really don't know. So it does have a little label that you can put right here. But I decided to fold it in half and add some muslin to it. Right like this. Well, let's open it up first so we can get it on there correctly. I'm just going to do a little bit of glue, always a little bit. That's what I tell myself. And then lay this little piece of muslin that fits on there. Right there. So I need to bring it forward a little bit so it kind of is on there even on the front and the back. Yeah, there we go. This is up a little bit. Let me add a little bit more. I'm trying to make this video not take me all day. I know you guys probably would prefer that, but do the best I can. I'm kind of like Gail. I need some time. Okay, and instead of gluing this on here, I want to staple it on here so that it gives more texture. I'm going to use my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. And it makes a really cool topper, tag topper. Now, I have a bigger stapler, but this keeps kind of bending. If I can get it straight in there, my finger's in the way. There we go. Little tiny bit crooked, but I can live with it. Doesn't have to be perfect. So then to decorate down here on the bottom, I just took and folded this top down on this muslin just to kind of give it a different look. And I don't even remember what I was going to put down there. So let's just glue this down first. There we go. Whoops. Landed right in the spot, didn't it? Okay. Now, I'll hold this up and see if I'm getting it straight. We don't want it to look all crooked. Now, it's not gluing this little flap down, but it's going to stay down. There's enough glue under there to keep that little flap down. So then on this right here, my thing this year is to show kindness, or to be kind, or just kindness in general. So I stamped a little thing that says be kind. And here is a little stamp that I stamped on a book page. And I just kind of made it go around it as much as possible. I need to see which way's up. Oh, okay. Let me tear that off right there. This way's up. Trying to think if that's how I had it. I think I had it under this. It's supposed to be like a little bush, but I don't like this bottom portion, so we'll just see what happens. We're just going to glue it down. I need to stamp some more book page. I love to keep a bunch of stamped images of my favorite little stamps. And because then you can sit down and make a tag just out, like this whole thing we're doing right now is something that could be done so easily just out of the blue, Now, if you wanted to, you could either put cheesecloth underneath the Be Kind or underneath the floral bush. But I'll just tell you honestly, I think it's busy enough, especially once we get finished with it. So there we go. Now, I forgot my button. So let me see. Gotta find my little buttons. I have 2 containers of little buttons here. And getting to them is, it's not that easy. Nope, I got the right one. Way to go, Paula. Way to go. So, what color do we want? These are all the darker colors except for the khaki. So we could hold the khaki out here and see what it looks like. It's not very big, but the goal is not to have it be big. Here is a darker brown. I like the darker better than that. And then here is a black. I think I'm going to go with the brown. Oh, wait a minute. Here is kind of a reddish brown. Ooh, I like that. Just do that. I also have, let me show you these real quick. This is the other half of the buttons. Yeah. I went to Michael's, not to Michael's, but I went to Hobby Lobby and they had their buttons 40% off. And they have 2 little packages of tiny little buttons like that. And I brought them home and pulled out 2 of my little tins, which I bought on Amazon. I'll tell you, those things are another thing I love, those little boxes I had them in. I put all my tiny little stuff in there. But here we go. Let's get back to the tag, Paula. Concentrate. Okay, so now we can go. I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. This is an old tag I had in my stash. And I thought, well, that's perfect. It has some kind of little buggy thing. So I put this in the top one because it's the longest. Okay, you guys know how this works. Most everybody does. Okay, and I'm going to leave it out a little bit. And so this is going to be a tags on a tag. What can I say? We'll do just about anything nowadays, won't we? So then I'm going to take this black tag and put it on the one just below. You always want to make sure they go under. Okay. All right. There we go. And then over here, you have a little white and black one. Yeah. And then we have this little manila color one. And we're going to put it right there. And this ticket tag. These little tiny ones are from Tim Holtz Tiny Tags. You know, he has the little die cut that cuts all the little small tags. I did not put things in the top of these because I didn't think it looked good with strings going everywhere, but you could. Okay, so here we have a blue, out of the blue, a blue, which I don't think is going to go, so we'll have to look for something out. Here's something that will go. Let me ink this. I accidentally left this one out, not thinking that I could actually use it. I was going to put it up after this video. Okay, so this is just a little script on a tag. So I'm just thinking we might put that right there. Let's just wait a minute and see. Then we have the word document, which I thought went really well with this sort of thing, but where are we going to put it? That's what I want to know. So if we bring this tag down, move this off, we could do it up here. We don't necessarily need the muslin, and I think that's how I'm going to do it, right there. I inked around it to darken it up a little bit, and it says document. We already have texture going on in this video because, with this tag, because, you know, of all these, this little pocket and everything. But I'm going to turn this at an angle. I want it to kind of angle up. Just like that. And probably, I think it's busy enough that we don't need this, but we can roll it over and just, oops, there's our button. We forgot to glue it down. Roll it over and have it here on the back if we want. Maybe instead of a word prompt, we could just put a little tag right here. And that's what I'm going to do, just to be different. I can't make sense out of it, which direction it should go. Keep looking, I'm not sure. Okay, so now on our little button, you know me, I'm not going to put a button on without a little bit of string. So let's do that real fast. I usually just go down the top of the button when it's got 2 holes and back up the other side, and then I just tie a double knot. I never tie bows. They don't lay right, and I'd rather have it lay right than to be a bow. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Okay, come on. Okay. I'm going to tie it right here. All right, let's get in here. Ah, slow, slow. Okay, that ought to take care of it. So we're going to trim it off as short as we can, right up against the button. Okay, and then we'll move that out of the way. And I'm going to, if I can hold it, it's so tiny. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on him. Just a little tiny dude. Okay. And I'm going to put it right there, because I just think that little spot needs something. Oh, good grief. After it gets glue everywhere. Finally. So I know that most people don't have a seed pocket on their tags, but we do. And I do think, at looking at this, I do think that we need something through these holes. And I don't have anything off the top of my head right now, but, you know, you can do snaps. You can do, let me show you what I mean. I got to find my snaps. Do you guys remember back in the day when we were chilling? We were a little chilling. I must have had it on the top here, and I just didn't. Yeah, there they are. Do you remember? These are some vintage ones that I found in a thrift store, because they're, you know, not super easy to find anymore. But these are snaps that our mothers used to put on our clothes. Like it would snap the top, or they'd put a hook and eye. But I think we're going to use one on this tag. And how you do it, I'm going to take this size. Okay. Now, how you do it is you have that part that snaps into the other part and this part. Okay. So you want to put it under this, the part that has a little almost pacifier looking tip, so it can hook. Let me pull this out so I can show you better. So you're going to take this with the tip. You're going to lay it behind your tag. Okay, I'm going to see if I can lay it down without dropping it. Then you're going to take the top part of the snap, lay it on there, and snap it together. And now you have a tag topper. See? Now, unless you can get your hands on a bunch, you know, I happen to have a bunch of tiny ones right here. So I think we'll do some of these little tiny ones on some of them. Because, you know, I'll never use those little dinky tiny ones. I'm going to put one on this one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to lay my tag right there on top of it. And this one is teensy tiny. But look how cute. Yeah, I'm going to use these little ones on here. I'm going to put a silver one on there because I do have a silver one here. These silver ones I found on a little piece of paper all by themselves somewhere. And I stuck them on with the black snaps. Now these can come apart. If you're real funny and don't want them to come apart on you, just put a little dab of glue in there. You know, that way you can enjoy it. And here we'll put a little black one. And we're almost done with this one. Just have one more to do. Now also buttons are another thing that are good to do. And yeah. So on this little tag, I'm putting a silver. Come on. There you go. Surprised I've done these as fast as I have because I do have a hard time getting these little things like this together. I spoke too soon, didn't I? Okay, there we go. Come on. Get on there. I might have it the wrong way. Nope, I got it the right way. It's just not that easy. There we go. And here is our... Scoot that one up a little bit. There we go. And this is our second tag. What do you think? I think it looks fun. I would love to have that in a journal, because then you can pull them off and journal on all of them. So yeah, here's one. Here's two. Completely different, right? Let me see how much time we got. I think we can whip this other one up real fast. Okay. Gotta do it quickly though. So on this is the bunny one, and I wanted to do him because, you know, it's close to Easter. And so we're just going to do the same thing. Just kind of, he was just an extra in case we had time. I'm going to do some Easter ones, but I want to show them, I want to do them for you so you can see what the die cut's like. And it's an Easter die cut. Okay, there we go. There's that. Now we're going to, all this stuff has been inked. We're going to kind of do the same thing we did with the little bunny. I mean, with the little bumblebee. Okay. I'm going to do this little gold flower. Going to lean him a little bit. Well, maybe not, since the bunny will take up so much room. We could do it like this. Let's do it like this. And I'm going to show you why. Because this little bunny could just be curious and decide he wants to get over here in front of the flowers. Well, he's not really too interested, is he? I don't know. Maybe I don't want it in his face after all. I can't keep doing this. I'll never get done. Okay, so we're going to put the bunny right here. Let's get him glued down first. Then we can work around him. So guys, I'm getting real close to my 2,000. And I should have already been there, but last year I got sick, and you know how things go. And I want to do one of the friendship journals. I'd love to have a journal with all of you guys' work in it, because I appreciate you guys so much, and I just think, you know, it would be awesome to have everybody's work in my book. I don't, I've just started journaling this year. So, you know, I have several different ideals for journaling. But I do like to, trying to get this as tiny as I can. It's leaning down on me. Ah, of course. Gotta wipe that off real quick because that glue dries fast. I should be using a mat, you guys. I've kind of got out of the habit of it because it drives me crazy moving around. But I will end up getting it out again. My Tim Holtz one, which I bought because I loved it, well, it's a little hard to use it when it glares all my lights in my videos. And I've watched videos where it glares and it drives me crazy, so I wouldn't do that to my subscribers. Not my subscribers. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put this over this way more and kind of lean it a little bit so they look like they're both trying to face the sun, stretching over. Okay, there's that. Now, I want to do, what was I going to do for, oh, I know what it was. And here I have this little butterfly, and I'm thinking right there, but let's see, because I want to put this friend up here, and then I want to use some sari silk. I want to pop a hole there and do some sari silk. Yeah, let me hole punch that first. Okay, hopefully the glue will not get in anything. Yeah, it's like it did not like the glue and the fabric. It just spit it out. That's all right. It did the job first. It did the work that we wanted it to do. Okay, so on this friend, this is just a little bit too long. So what I think is I'm just going to bend it over this direction, kind of fold it forward. Let's glue it down. Come on. It sounds like everybody's done mowing and talking in the backyard now that the video's almost over. Okay, here we go. And I'm just going to do it like this. And I want this little flappy thing to glue down to, so we'll do it like that. And then we'll put the word friend on here. Our friends. Yeah, now I want to put this, I'm wondering if I should put it right there. Yeah, that's good, don't you think? That's close enough. I don't like to crowd it all together unless my eye's just saying, do it, do it, do it. Now we got the sari silk to do. And we're just gonna pull up a little piece of it in here. Hopefully it will cooperate. So I tried to do them all a little different. And I think that they turned out fine. What do you think? Now, I don't double tie this unless it won't stay on. And I'll tell you the reason. Is it just makes it too bulky, right? And I don't care how these little tails turn out. They can all be uneven. But I don't like it all stringy though, like that. All right, so this one looks like a bow, which I hadn't planned on. But we might as well run with it, right? Okay. That one thing I hate about using Sari Silk is the strings go everywhere. They make you a little crazy, don't they? Okay, so here's number 3. Here's number 2. Here's no, this is number 3. That's number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm counting backwards. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. I always have fun when I get to do a video for you guys. And if you did, give me a thumbs up. That helps my channel. And, yeah, try some of these. So much fun. It's like putting together a scene. And what's better than that? It reminds me of my days when I would color and everything had its place. It's kind of like that. All right, guys, I'll try not to do, maybe we'll do some mixed media next. Maybe. I'm not making promises, but we'll see. All right, guys, see you next time. Welcome new subscribers. Bye, guys.